it's for the community. Meaning that if it's a young person, or elderly person, in between those people, we was trying to help everybody, because everybody was struggling. And not just through the pandemic, it's just life. I don't look at it, like I said, I don't look at what the gains are as far as materialistic in my pocket. I look at it, I feel better. That's what counts, as long as I feel better. And it drives me to keep going. Make me feel proud of myself, and also that I'm a part of something bigger than myself.
Good evening and welcome to Union Settlement's virtual fall toasting. I'm Latifa Odedina, a member of the Union Settlement Board of Directors and chair of the Benefit Committee. We have a lot to celebrate this evening, the first of which is still being here, despite the hardships we all faced in the past 18 months. Union Settlement has been serving the East Harlem community for over 126 years, and that makes it the oldest and largest social service provider in the neighborhood, which is one of the city's poorest, most underserved communities, and sadly, one of the hardest hit communities during this time. Union Settlement remains a passionate advocate for the needs of underserved communities, and the need of its services to the community has been amplified, just absolutely amplified throughout the pandemic. The essential services Union Settlement provides brings education, wellness, and community building programs to East Harlem residents and empowers New Yorkers with opportunities to better their lives, which has been more important now than ever before. So this evening, we are so proud to honor Szilvia Tanenbaum. Szilvia served on the board of directors of Union Settlement for 10 years, and she's also continues to be a loyal supporter of Union Settlement through the Pine Tree Foundation of New York. In her conversation with David Nocenti, the Union Settlement Executive Director, later in the evening, she'll share more about how she continues to be involved with Union Settlement. And also this evening, we are very, very proud, so proud to honor the entire Union Settlement staff as one of our honorees for their bravery, their compassion, and resiliency. Throughout the evening, you'll hear from several of the staff members about how they navigated the needs of our participants, as well as their personal struggles during this unprecedented time. We couldn't feature all 300 plus of our employees, but we appreciate and honor each and every one of them. Our early childhood staff continue to spark esteem and healthy growth virtually. Our youth services staff continue to recognize potential, nurture dreams, and map pathways to success for the youth in our community. Our adult education program increased digital literacy instruction to help our participants navigate our virtual world, which is going to be so important for them going forward. Our mental health staff moved to telehealth services very swiftly when the need for mental services was greater than ever. Our business development staff helped the mom and pop businesses that are so critical to our community, helped them keep their doors open throughout the pandemic, and administered a $4 million grant program. Our senior services staff continued to provide meals without season delivery, which is amazing. They also used virtual modalities to activate the bodies, minds, and souls of our older adults during the period of isolation. And our community outreach program connected East Harlem residents to vital resources through our general store, which addressed the critical needs of food insecurity. So, to capture it all in one word, our staff are heroes, and we are forever grateful to them. We would also like to thank our generous event sponsors of this evening. And we have sponsors at all different levels. At the Dreamers level, Daniel and Nancy Paduano. At the Heroes level, we have Bill and Jan Arnold, Jagdeep and Shashi Dayal, Marshall Donnelly, Health First, Mickey and Bob Curson, and Amy Sherman. At the Champions level, Josephine C. Dopkin, Brad and Sharon Green, Ruth E. Packman and Donald T. Faladi, Robin Sparkman and Howard Robbins. At the Advocates level, Peter H. Baker, Vanny and T.J. Duane, Robert and Sally Edgar, Reginald Harwell and Pia Flanagan, David Nocenti and Andrea Shapiro Davis, Susan Pewter and Peter Verengia, Jenna Roosh, Epstein, Becker and Green, and Martha and Alex Wallau. Thank you all so much. I would also like to thank our board of directors and our benefit committee for just their continued support and guidance. Thank you so much. And a few housekeeping notes. So we have an absolutely terrific, exciting evening planned for you. So please chat with us throughout the evening in the chat box. To access the chat function, just click chat on the right hand of the screen. My right might be your left, so maybe it's on this side for you. And also, as you know, this is a fundraiser and your support is vitally important to our work. So we invite you to support Union Settlement's essential services by clicking the donate button, which is also located on the right hand of your screen next to the chat button. And the chat and donate buttons will be available throughout the evening. So please enjoy the rest of the program. Be sure to engage with us in the chat throughout the evening. We definitely will be engaging with you. And I will see you again at the end of the evening.
I've been in the community so long, done a lot of stuff. I'm often recognized by people for the work that I do. But my mind actually lives in a space where it doesn't feel like 40 years. It really actually feels like I got another day to do this. I'm not finished yet. There's more work to do, and so on. So, as my wife once said, are you thinking about retirement at some time? I said, that word never floats through my mind, because it really is about being effective in the work. And that's my commitment. So, I just want to keep doing the work. The spirit of it, right, is to really, really help the community from infant to senior to actually thrive, to have a better life. And in nonprofit work, that's not always easy to do. It's not always easy to think about truly having comprehensive services. But I can say that there is a commitment to live that mission of helping people to thrive, really. You can see it playing itself out in each different department.
East Harlem, El Barrio, Spanish Harlem. No matter what it's called, we call it home. Music and joy fill our streets. A friendly hello or warmth fills the soul. Here we grow together, learn together, and most of all, show up for each other. We welcome you to our home. Even in the best of times, East Harlem's residents face challenges. The pandemic has definitely challenged our community, yet we continue to endure. In spite of constant economic and cultural barriers and the inequality and injustice that's all too often affects East Harlem, we endure. Union Settlement has been here since 1895, serving tens of thousands of people, decade after decade, with our programs and services. Our early childhood classrooms are filled with joy and discovery. Our youth services programs inspire young people to make their dreams a reality. Our adult educational programs help adults achieve their educational and personal goals. Our mental health programs provide the tools to help people to heal and recover from trauma. Our Business Development Center enhances the economy and commercial vitality of East Harlem. Our Senior Services Program nourishes the mind, body, and soul of our older adults. And our Community Outreach Program provides access to vital resources. Even with 125 years of experience, after the last 18 months, we learned that while our program continues to cultivate our mission, we face a challenge to grow in our new digital world. The truth is we grew by being open to evolve into a place where we all adjust together regardless of the difficult and different circumstances. We have continued to honor and serve our community through pandemics, snowstorms, and ever-changing health and safety regulations. As a team, we grew every day working side by side. Our growth could not have been achieved if it weren't for our brave, resilient, and compassionate Union Settlement heroes. This is Union Settlement. This is East Harlem. It's a beloved place. And throughout and after this unprecedented time, Union Settlement will be here to inspire, engage, and empower those who call East Harlem home.
One highlight for me was when we had to deliver in the snowstorm, and the clients was like very surprised that we actually showed up through that kind of weather. I do this because of the seniors, and I like helping people, and delivering food to the senior is a way of me giving back to them and helping them, because some of the clients are bedbound and some are much older. They can't get out to get their own food. So me delivering food to the clients, it was special to them because sometimes I'm the only person they get to see throughout the day.
I hope you're enjoying the program. I would now like to introduce you to Friendly. Friendly is a participant in our youth services program who has become a leader to his fellow participants thanks to the guidance of our youth services team.
I went to Union Settlement. I didn't really talk to the staffs. They tried to talk to me, try to help me, but I was like, not really sure. I was still shy, so I didn't talk too much. I didn't have the courage to talk to nobody. I thought they would, laugh at me, make fun of me. So, and now, I changed a lot because I learned to trust others in a way and to learn how to talk to more people and make socialize because of Union Settlement. So I try, to be as nice as possible, not trying to be like a leader, but more like a friend to others. So yeah, that's my main goal right now.
Union Settlement lo ha ayudado mucho. La primera vez que yo lo vi tocar, él le encanta mucho tocar la batería, pero cuando él se presentó, que lo vi la primera vez, yo dije, oh, wow, él estaba tocando varios instrumentos que yo no lo había visto y me sorprendió mucho. Ha hecho muchas cosas con las tareas, siempre tan pendiente de él. si hizo la tarea, si quiere participar en alguna actividad que a él le guste. Siempre están ahí con él, pendiente de todo. Ha hecho un cambio totalmente en la vida de él.
So yeah, Union Settlement has helped me a lot over the years. I think that one word I would use is probably inspirational, because it inspires other people to do stuff that they won't normally do. So that's probably a word that I would use to summarize everything. Definitely, I probably would have been a different person, still not talking about it, just my mom and my brother, so yeah.
Young people are going through a lot. There are a lot of difficulties and challenges that people face. We lost a few kids this year. And watching those other kids fight for better in those losses was one of the greatest experiences. The young man that is a part of the mural lost his life, and they created a memorial basketball tournament for him. And there's like 250, 300 kids in the park just remembering and playing basketball and enjoying each other. And I got a chance to see that thing we fight for in young people, that resiliency, that I can make it, that I can cope, I'm gonna do it, we're gonna do it, come out, right? And being able to say, there's no way we're giving up on this under these circumstances. We're going to do what we have to do to make that work. So I think that for me, that was one of the greatest moments, right? Seeing that resiliency. And the other side of it was seeing the staff just as invested in the young people, so that when there was something that we would do outward, in the park or in the community, the staff would come to be with the kids, to relate, to share, to interact with each other. It's almost like we haven't seen each other for a while, so that's a big takeaway for me. Those are the things that I think give you the message of what this is really about, and what the work really means.
This pandemic, I was out here when it was real bad, but I knew that I had to be out here with my guys, with my team. I couldn't live on by myself. And we decided, me and my wife, as a couple, I had to go to a hotel. I cannot bring this thing. If anything happened to me, just to me, not to them. Getting out of work and go to a hotel and not be able to see my daughter physically for 6 months, it was kind of hard. But I couldn't only think about my family. It's a lot of other people that we was helping out here.
Szilvia, delighted to be here with you today. I'm delighted that we're honoring you at our Toasting Union Settlement event. We're here socially distant in the library of the Washington Houses Community Center, our newly renovated youth services program. And we had a great ribbon cutting about a month ago that District Attorney Vance was here, and Borough President Gail Brewer, and Councilmember Diana Ayala, and Robert Rodriguez, and Senator Serrano, so everybody was here.
I want to tell you that just coming up here and seeing the new entrance and the way this has been redone, and then walking in and seeing how new it is and how bright, and it's such a transformation. It really makes a world of difference, and whatever it took was absolutely worth it, because it needed to be done, and I can just see everybody being happier here.
You've been connected to Union Settlement for a long time, so why don't you just give us what started it? How did you first connect with us?
I must go back to about 2010. And my start with Union Settlement didn't start with Union Settlement, but I was doing senior citizen classes at the Academy of Medicine for mostly women, but people, who I was giving classes how to find reliable medical information on the internet. And at the time, Maxine Rockoff was the head of the library at Academy of Medicine, and I was introduced to her, and she had been on the board already. She must be one of the two most senior members of the board. She and Gina.
In the 1980s, late 1980s.
Oh my God, yes. And so in a nanosecond, she figured out that she wanted me to teach those courses because I could do it in Spanish. She wanted me to teach those same courses for union settlement.
So you had time as a volunteer first, and then a board member, which is also a volunteer position in a governance role, supervising the organization and making sure that its standards are right. And then a great supporter as well through the Pine Tree Foundation. You want to tell us about the Pine Tree Foundation and what it is and what its focus is and where you saw the match with Union Settlements work?
Well, Pine Tree was to support things that were book related, whether it was literacy programs or helping librarians in special collections at Harvard. So it really went for the overarching educational, how books are part of educational component. My husband, he was philanthropic all throughout his life. And so his direction and what he did with philanthropy often, not always, but very often had to do with books, bookish things, learning, etc. So education and books were always the other part of it. And even under COVID, when you said your immediate need because of COVID was computer literacy for parents to somehow, for parents to be able to help kids do their homework. Well, they're not books. They're not books in the sense of turning pages, but it's part of education, and you can't cut it off.
And people really can't survive now unless you have digital literacy, which is why Pine Tree's most recent grant to assist our digital literacy program has been so amazing, because you're allowing people to actually participate in society and participate in remote learning, which they previously had no capacity to do.
And that you shouldn't give that up. I think that if anything, what I've learned from other places where I am on the board, and they have to do much more with books and rare books, is there was a silver lining to COVID, and that is that all institutions were forced to reach out and do things differently. So museums did their virtual tours, and the curators spoke, and other places gave classes and gave lectures. And they attracted new members. And I think the lesson to be learned is that there was something something that was done that shouldn't be discontinued. Some of those things that came into being because of COVID can be rolled into the future way of doing things.
That's so absolutely true. I just think of our senior program where we had senior centers and the seniors would congregate there. And then we had this homebound population, which we only did Meals on Wheels for, so we would deliver meals to them. Suddenly in COVID, we were engaging with the Meals on Wheels population virtually and doing virtual bingo or virtual exercise classes or virtual, we had like Broadway shows that we could do virtually. And suddenly it opened up to these additional 500 people that we previously, to our fault, hadn't really been engaging with. But what COVID showed us, we were forced to adapt for all of our seniors. But when it worked for all of our seniors, we were able to adapt that to the homebound population as well.
And don't give that up.
Oh no, trust me. And also digital literacy is something we're going to be pursuing across the board in all of our programs because it's so important. And look, I just want to say thank you again because, the impact that you've had has been tremendous as a volunteer, as a board member, as a supporter. It's really been terrific. You benefited our early childhood program, benefited our adult education program. It's really, really remarkable that you and the foundation together have been able to have such a terrific impact. It's an honor for us to honor you and to showcase, the impact that you've had. So I really, really appreciate everything you've done for us. Thank you so much, Szilvia.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
During the pandemic, a lot of our participants just don't have the income to be able to afford, their foods and the basic necessity. So the general store is like a food pantry within Union Settlement. Every week we serve about over 120 people via appointments and giving bags. And it is something that at least they have for them to help throughout these hard times. I appreciate that they call us heroes. Having that title for us and our colleagues actually is quite, empowering, and it makes us feel like, hey, the things that we're doing and the service that we're providing is actually doing great for those who are taking it.
It has been a wonderful and inspiring evening. Thank you again to our honorees, the Union Settlement staff, and
Szilvia Tanenbaum,
and to all our event sponsors. Thanks to all of you for joining us in tonight's celebration of the vibrant East Harlem community and our continued resolve and resiliency from the period of the beginning of the pandemic through to today. And thanks to all of you who donated. Thank you so very much. The link to give is active on our website, unionsettlement.org/donate. So you can still, engage on there. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening.
This concludes Union Settlement Virtual Fall Toasting. We are programming year-round, so be sure to follow us on social media. We hope to see you soon.